Hello there, second weekend of Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It's Sunday, I've forgotten what day it is.
26th of March.
26th of March, with a full Mancunian accent there. So we're going to do some bits that we missed out last week, aren't we, in the vlog? Things like Pleasure Beach Express. I was going to say e-ticket debate. I was going to call it Pleasure Beach Experience then. That's us, still, kind of. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to do stuff like that, talk about the dark rides, and big one's open, so hopefully be able to give you a better review about the new track this week rather than a sort of small segment of information about it. So looking forward to being back. I think we're going to start on the best woody in the country. Mike's been saying off camera how much he can't wait for the Grand National, so I think we're going to do that first. And,
Mike hasn't been saying anything of
he has, hasn't he, Jimmy?
Yeah.
He has, yeah.
Mike hasn't been saying anything of the
He's been saying how amazing it was last week, and he really couldn't wait to get back on it.
Last week.
So we're going to start the day, or should I say start the day on the Grand National and go from there. Straight on, pretty much.
Near enough.
Walk on Sundays.
You know it's a quiet day, don't you, when this has got no queue?
Literally, it's like just
Sundays,
Blackpool Pleasure Beach, start of the season, always quiet. Looking forward to this then?
Not really.
No. Just been on the Grand National then, and I can't believe it. As we came into the station, Mike was like, best woody in the country.
I didn't say that. I didn't go that far. It was noticeably better.
It was.
Than the ride I had last week though. Different train. So I was on the blue train last week and it was god awful. Purple train this week. Hey?
How short are you?
I'm on a slope.
I don't have this issue when I'm vlogging with Mark.
I'm on a slope.
There we go.
We're the wrong way round here. I should be on that side.
Yeah.
So last week I was on the front of the blue train.
Yeah.
Bloody awful. This week, second to back of the purple train. Not a bad ride really, it's quite smooth.
I'll be honest, like, even though I did go on the purple train last week, I actually thought that was better than last week, but we were on the south side this week rather than the north side, and I think that does make a difference, to be perfectly honest. I think the south side of it is a little bit better. For less familiar with Pleasure Beach people, that's when you go to the right of the station rather than the left. So it was Mike's choice. Mike didn't want to do the left side, but e-ticket scanning, yeah, we were going to get a lot of people recommended that if we didn't like using the digital version of it, to get an e-ticket printed off by guest services.
Unfortunately, I suspect the entirety of the park
literally
is doing that because the queue was out the gate for guest services.
Well, that was
out the door. Sorry,
that was the thing. That was the plan. We were going to get the paper tickets today in terms of the e-tickets, so we could actually talk about the use of those in the video. But when the queue's outside of guest services, it's like, nah, we'll leave that for now. But the thing that's annoying is, like, my little boy's here today as well, so I've got his e-ticket and my e-ticket on my phone now. He's with my mum, his gran at the minute, whereas we're not with them. So I've had to send them a screenshot of the ticket in the hope that it will work on my mum's phone. Otherwise, I'm going to have to be scanning him onto every ride in Nickland whilst we're wanting to do the big rides. And I just don't see how it's going to help families in the long run. I think it's, if this system's staying, it needs to go back in the Apple and Google Pay wallets, because otherwise it is a nightmare to deal with. Yeah. Anyway, we'll cover that.
Even the mighty J. Davidson Stadium in Altrincham, you can have your ticket on an Apple wallet.
And none of you have heard of them, so that shows how easy it is to have an e-ticket in your phone.
I've got my season ticket for Alties on my phone.
Yeah.
It's great, it works on my watch.
So
we're
going to move on and we'll talk about e-tickets a little bit more later on. Got arm ache from filming, so we'll go and move on for now. We do prefer to do our vlogs in a bit more of a logical order these days, and going from the Grand National to the South Park of Pleasure Beach is not logical. However, it is very windy, isn't it, Mike?
It's forecast to pick up, yeah.
So we're going to get on the big one now, because it's on one train, so it has got a big queue, and there's no guarantee it'll be open all day. So we're going to get on the big one now. Well, we're going to wait for it. I think you can see the queue behind us there. We're We'll do the big one, and then we'll work our way back around the park from sort of big one, Icon, Infusion, and work our way around rather than working our way around to the big one to find it might actually be closed. So hopefully...
I do not want to see that sign.
No, so we're going to get in the queue then?
Vanished forever.
Let's go and get in that queue then and get on it, and hopefully it won't take too long.
Oh, and I'll laugh if they change it to say 238 foot next year.
It probably will, to be fair.
The sea level's dropped since we first measured it, so it's now 238 foot.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. So Project Exodus...
Not giving you any ideas or anything whatsoever.
Project Exodus, second tallest coaster in the country next year. Big one's got taller.
If it changes next year, you heard it here first.
We're not giving you ideas, Pleasure Beach, honest. Yeah, we are. Do it. We dare you.
What am I saying? So we're at the bottom of the ramp or thereabouts. Now I queued from this point or so last Sunday, and I think it was about 20-ish minutes, something like that, 25 minutes. Yeah. Not too bad, because one thing to bear in mind is that you don't zigzag inside.
There's my mum and Charlie. Hi, little man. Your little boy on the Pleasure Beach Express there.
Yeah, one thing to bear in mind is you don't zigzag inside like you used to, so it is hidden sort of odd.
Yeah, so about 20 minutes, we're all good with that really, aren't we? One train, just need that second one on soon.
Definitely, fingers crossed.
Yeah. We needn't have worried about that wind. The big one's got a bit of intent today, hasn't it, Mike?
It's a bit quick.
Yeah, it's a little bit cold up there, so not in a hurry to
help on top.
Team Bald get a little bit cold up there these days.
Jimmy sacked from that club, he's not allowed in.
That's why he's not in the vlog, he's not Bald. So, just not part of the elite club.
We've even forced the additional team member to cut it off.
Yeah, yeah. We've told Sam you're not joining the social media team unless you're bald. So we're not being baldest because we are bald.
We're bald.
But yeah, I thought that was good, mate.
Yeah, I did.
What do we think? New track. What do we think? Smooth. Tazza crew have done a great job.
As usual.
It was hard to judge it last week. We didn't do it until towards the end of the day. It was very windy, so it wasn't the fastest, and it was just hard to judge it. But today I paid a lot of attention. The old jolt that was there is gone. It's a hell of a lot smoother. Very, very quiet, which is a little bit odd and will take some getting used to. But they've done a great job. They're preserving the life of the big one, and I'm sure they'll be back in the winter to do more of the same, to keep this famous and iconic roller coaster in Blackpool going probably longer than we'll be able to ride roller coasters. So very happy about it. And now I believe it's Pleasure Beach Express time to check out the changes.
Choo-choo. Oh yeah.
All aboard.
We're not doing the maze.
The little boy is showing me around the Chinese puzzle maze. Aren't you, Charlie?
Yeah.
You gonna go under the dragons, get wet?
No.
No.
It's for trying to look.
But look, if you walk towards it, watch. You walk towards it, they go off. No, they don't. They used to. There we go. Look, they've gone up. Go on, quick, quick, quick.
You have to try one before the but I'm not doing that.
You're not doing it, just me. Go on, walk and talk.
For the first time in 3 years, the old steps are back.
For the PBE?
Yeah.
Go on, keep going, keep
down
going. Do not fall. Actually, yeah, fall, it'll be funny.
Yeah, the old steps are back.
Yeah.
The old way in.
Old way in, pre-COVID way onto the train.
No more walking up to go down, to go round, to go up, to go down.
Agreed.
So we're on the Pleasure Beach Express.
All aboard.
All aboard, choo-choo. Oh yeah. So we're going to have a look at some new bits.
Yeah.
There's been a few changes. I mentioned this in my write-up last week, but the second half of the ride, where the sort of the land of the dinosaurs is, has had a fair few bits of work. There's now a soundtrack, which is quite good. We'll see that. A few of the animals have been either painted, new animals, repainted animals, replaced animals, a couple of new dinosaurs in there. So we'll have a look as we go around.
A quick look at the Big Dipper as we go past. They've started to repaint some of the handrails. Obviously Icon gets in the way these days, but see the red handrails repainted, and on the lift hill as well. Doesn't really help that it's a dull day today. Yeah, looking forward to seeing that when it's finished. Icon's workshop. What's in there?
That's where train gets repaired.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what makes new train new train. That's
does it? Yeah. So we've had one lap. What do you think of the changes there, Mike?
Yeah, it's good to see them doing some work, keeping it spruced up, keeping it neat and tidy.
I think we've been saying in like various places since about 2016 it'd be good to see it get spruced up, and it's started. There's no doubt there's still a lot to do, but it's a good start. The gardening team at Pleasure Beach always do a great job, and that's clear to see in the work that's been done so far. Some of the dinosaurs look fresh, some of them still look a bit beaten up, but I think it is a work in progress.
Elephant needs a tusk. It's only been missing it for about 15 years.
Yeah, to be fair, it does need a tusk. But
send it to dentist.
Shut up, man. No one likes to go to the dentist. It's quite pricey these days. But yeah, I think it's good to see the changes, and we're going to have another lap now just to see if there's anything we've missed. But I hope that they continue to work on it, because it definitely needs it.
So we mentioned about the train's now got its old entrance back pre-COVID. Wallace has now got its old queue line back as well.
Yeah, so you want to explain what had changed for anyone that's not been for the last few years?
Or for anyone that don't remember the other one at all.
Yeah.
Is that original, what you can see behind us now is these green railings here.
Yeah.
This is the original queue line.
Yes, it is.
With the bit inside was the extension to it, and it fed up there.
Yeah.
Then in COVID, they swapped it round, so the Speedy Pass became the queue, and the queue became the Speedy Pass.
Certainly
that
did.
That makes sense because of social distancing.
Yep, spot on.
Go back to normal.
We're going to go and give it a go?
Yeah.
Let's go then.
Everyone, look at Gromit and say cheese. Cheese. We'll go somewhere where there's cheese. Oh, good job I greased the bearings. Did you check the brakes, Dad? Just Gromit. We forgot your breakfast. Hold on, Joe. Hold on. It's my turn for breakfast this morning, Gromit. Porridge today, then. Tuesday. Oh, is it supposed to do that? Don't worry, madam. Everything's under control. Hey, look out! Where'd you get that from? That's my machine. I've got patent pending. Say that is a bit. I've got a problem with ice. Oh no, Robin. What's this? Help! Get me down! Help! Get me down, Kingston! Oh, that's quite enough. You'll be hearing from her solicitor about this. 6,000 man, capable of over 125 RPM. That's rapid time.
Heard you had a spotted rabbit follow. Shoot them straight on out.
Hang in there, Gromit. Everything's under control. Ah, good boy, Gromit, man. Well done. Well, that went as well as could be. Well done, John. Oh, that was riveting.
About to go on Wallace and Gromit then. Good fun, that one. More cheese. Now, talking of cheese actually, it's time for Infusion. Who remembers the cheese butty advert, Specsavers?
I don't.
You don't? Mike, come on.
You should have gone to Specsavers.
They should have gone to Specsavers, shouldn't they? Yeah, go on, Mike, for those that don't remember it.
Yeah, old couple sat on a bench eating a cheese butty.
Yeah.
Turns into Infusion.
Yeah,
Should
somehow.
have gone to Specsavers, yeah.
Yeah, should have gone on the big one. Yeah, that was for Jack and Jimmy. That was pretty much when the ride opened.
Some years ago, wasn't it?
So we're going to go on Infusion now, first time this season. I'm sure it'll be smooth as always.
Better than smiling.
Well, yeah, that's without bloody saying, isn't it? Really, it's not difficult, is it?
Set the bar right here,
Smooth,
haven't we?
very smooth. Right, let's do it and see seriously how smooth or rough it is today. going to keep the Infusion review fairly short. Rough, not very pleasant, probably the worst ride I've ever had on it. Usually I stick up for Infusion, but I'm not doing it again if it's going to be that rough. It was vile, honestly. Roughest ride I've ever had on Infusion. One and done for the year, and I mean it, it really was that bad.
So that age-old rumour mill that we do like to talk about a lot as enthusiasts, what's the new or the next coaster at Pleasure Beach, and where's it going to go?
Is that what we're thinking, is it?
I
Yeah.
think that might be going.
And what makes you think that?
Well, there's nothing in there hardly.
No.
The amount of machines in that arcade, ever since that big the Ridge Racer thing with the Mazda got took out, that I believe is now up the road. Ever since that got took out, the number of machines in that arcade's been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. One by one, they've been disappearing. So I think that arcade might be on borrowed time. To be honest, it's been on borrowed time, I think, since the facade came off it in that storm a few years ago when it had to be taken off.
2018 that was.
The old Bolidrome front.
Yeah. Should we go and have a look in the arcade?
I think we should do.
Yeah, let's go. Of course, as well as the Bolidrome, behind me is what is known as Planet Rock, which has housed quite a few shows here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. However, it is something that they could quite easily get rid of if they need space, and of course, if they do want to build new rides in this park, they do always need space because it is a very ride-intensive amusement park as it is. But I think, like Mike's saying, the Bolidrome arcade building, I think it's been on borrowed time now for the last 5 or 6 years. We've been hearing it. As soon as Pleasure Beach have got something in mind that they're going to build, that will go. But I also think this building behind me, Planet Rock, I also think matter of time
a bit as well
before it goes.
Of course, this used to house a waltzer as well.
Yes, it did.
Back in the day.
The Black Hole.
Well, this used to house a waltzer back in the day.
It did.
The Black Hole. But what else is behind here? It's a car park.
With lots of markings on it.
Well, markings all over it, and not just the white lines where the spaces are either.
No, exactly. There's a lot of markings on there. They've been ground testing back there. I mean, at the minute, there's a Big Dipper onions back there, but they have been ground testing back there. There's loads of markings. There was talk that that was going to be where the big wheel's going to go, but I don't think that's happening somehow. I've got a bit of a theory about what's going on in this space, and we'll go and talk about it once we've had a look around the arcade. Bit empty in here, isn't it?
It is a little bit. It's very echoey.
Yeah, it is.
Well, for one, it was said about Bolidrome being on borrowed time. There's a big bit missing out of it.
Yeah.
The bowl.
Yes.
Bit. Because that is the old Bowlingo bowling alley, which used to take up all this here. Yeah. All those different coloured tiles is where Bowlingo used to be. And it used to have, I think it used to have 3 sets of 2 lanes at one point. There's one there that hasn't been used for years.
No.
Because it's just, if you look at that, it's just a dumping ground for bits. That's not been touched for years.
No.
So yeah, it's looking very, very empty in here.
As you come outside from the Bolidrome building, you can see quite a lot of markings which are fading away on the ground now. So it looks like they might have been, jet washed away. So, might be hiding them now the season started. But I believe that there was a lot of very visible red and yellow markings, which you can just about make out around this area. I think we've seen these before, Mike. When
2016,
2015, 16, 17 kind of time, followed by some blue pegs and exit shot markings, and then a big, big roller coaster appeared in 2018.
Yeah,
so
then the path disappeared and a roller coaster appeared in its place.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it? Do you think that might happen again? But with the Bolidrome,
an arcade might have to disappear.
Yeah, I think about
if you.
Yeah,
it doesn't quite go that quickly, but
no, it's not Roller Coaster Tycoon. Chill out, man. So, RMC single rail, maybe.
RMC single rail 001 is here.
The best RMC in the country, if that happens. Not like we've got many of them in this country, but there has been some rumours about RMC single rails coming to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and of course there is one for sale in California. You never know, it could happen. That'd be ace. I mean, not every roller coaster has to be brand new.
Nope.
Would we accept a second-hand RMC here? Yes, we would, especially a single rail one.
Well, there's a second-hand Angham Bang over there.
We don't talk about that. I mean, I might have spoken about it briefly earlier, but won't be speaking about that again. But yeah, we'll try and get some shots of these markings, and watch this space. New roller coaster coming to Blackpool Pleasure Beach? Maybe, maybe not. But If we didn't,
got to build one at some point.
and if we didn't speculate, life would be very boring.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, where would coaster enthusiasts be without endless speculation?
And also, think about this: Alton Towers, Fort Park, Chessington, Legoland, Drayton Manor, all getting new coasters. Paulton's Park, they're investing. Blackpool Pleasure Beach do need to do something to keep up with their competition. So, who knows what might happen? An RMC single rail, should that happen, everyone will be here for that on opening day. So, yeah, let's see what happens, eh?
Rushes that you want the boats on and probably nothing. So there's been some developments in this area since last week. You can see over here we've got a lot of what appears to be the pole footings for the queue line.
Yeah.
There's also some electrical cable sticking out of the ground. Now, is it for a shop for selling ponchos, or is it for ticket scanning, so it's out of the way of the start of the ride? Has something been thought about what we said about last week?
I personally think it's for a shop to sell the ponchos, but Mike's got his theory about it potentially being the ticket scanner a little bit earlier in the queue line. I'm not as hopeful as you. I don't think they'll do anything about that. I think it will be a case of you just got to take your phone on and hope that you haven't got a crack in the screen and hope that it doesn't get broken.
Or everyone goes and gets e-tickets.
Oh, every time I go on Valhalla, I'm getting a printed e-ticket. I don't care how long it takes to get one from Guest Services. It'll be a case of go and get it and then chuck everything in a locker. I'm not risking getting a phone broken. iPhones cost 800, 900 quid now. It's not worth getting it.
It's not even worth your insurance claim back.
Well, no, it isn't, because you go to your insurance company and say, oh, my phone's got broken on a water ride. They'll say, well, why do you take it on then? It's like basically saying, oh, I took my phone in the bath and dropped it. They'd be like, well, why did you do that?
And they'll charge you 50 quid for the privilege of replacing it.
Yeah.
50 quid's a lot to go on a ride every time you want to go on it.
Yeah, it is. It is. And as you can see behind us, Valhalla is testing. And yeah, looking forward to getting back on it for technical rehearsals. I don't think there'll be any fire on for the technical rehearsals, but I think once the rehearsals are done, there will be fire. But I think for the time being, when they're doing the rehearsals, there'll be reduced effects, let's say. But looking forward to it.
Yeah, I will say that. Don't bank on that week of the rehearsals. Don't bank on getting a perfect run, because you probably won't. That's the whole point of it.
That is the point of a technical rehearsal. It will be hit and miss.
If I remember back to when Wallace opened, very first opened.
You can remember that far back?
Just about.
I can't.
Well, they'd open it, run it, maybe run it round, make a load of notes, close it again, maybe close it for a couple of days.
I do remember something from that day, actually. You turned up late. And United lost to Chelsea in the FA Cup. So I do remember stuff. Anyway, I've got our mate for filming, so I'm going to let you carry on this without me, so bear with me a second.
And what they do is run it, go round, find a load of faults, go close the ride for a couple of days, work on the faults, straighten them out. I think it might be something like, I remember back at the time, stuff like effects timings. The timing's been a little bit out on a sensor, so they come on too early or too late. You come back a few days later and it was sorted. So that's what the technical rehearsal is for. Don't expect the full experience at that time. If you do get it, great, but don't be expecting it.
So it's like two old men on a park bench here, end of the day at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It's been a grand day out, I think. What's been your highlight of the day, Mike?
The big one's been fast, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. It's been tall as well, would you believe?
It is. So.
Yeah, might be a little bit taller next season. Sea level's changing, I've heard.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a tiny bit, so unlucky Thorpe Park. if that does happen, we did not give you the idea. Blackpool Pleasure Beach,
Nothing
clearly.
to do with us.
Nothing to do with us at all. Anyway, let's be serious. It has been a grand day out. Really enjoyed being back at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Good to see Valhalla testing. Good to get on a big one. Good to get on the best woody in the country. Good to see you. Here we have. We've been on the Grand National.
It's not best woody in the country.
It is. Well, what you're going to say is Blue Flyer.
Yeah.
Don't be silly. They should be telling me Wickerman's the best woody in the country. Well, it's all right, actually, to be fair. I mean, we're having an ART on it next week, which is going to be fantastic. No, it won't be next week, because by the time this is on, it'll be in a few days' time.
This week?
Yeah, this week. Yes, that'll be good. Second best woody in the country, that. So, anyway, highlights of the day.
Big one.
Wallace and Gromit.
Wallace.
Yeah, that was good. Just nice to have a grand day out here at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And, yeah, hopefully we've covered everything that we missed on opening weekend. And
we haven't, we'll get it next time.
I think the next time I'll be here now is when Valhalla opens for technical rehearsals, whatever that may be. With or without fire, I'm looking forward to getting back on Valhalla. For now, that's all from me and Mike today. Hope we've been a good double act. Bit silly at times, but what would the channel be if we were all too serious all the time? Many thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, and we will see you at Alton Towers.